Yeah, one of the commonly asked questions by students will always be how long does it take for me to finish off my ACCA? What will be the fastest? We know that there are people who want it like real fast, okay? So I thought to share a bit here about the duration that you can take to do your ACCA. Now, the shortest time to complete ACCA is actually 2.5 years, assuming that you're starting right from the beginning level of ACCA. And I don't really want to say like what is the longest time because you can really take as long as you can, but that's really not our objective here. Okay. Now, but what I really want to share is about the flexibility. Now, what do you mean by the flexibility? Now, assuming if you start your ACCA in January 2023. Now, let's say you're starting right from the first level. Of course, some people they may have some pre-qualifications. You could have you could have obtained a diploma or you've obtained a degree, and then you might come in with an exemption. Okay, I'm just going to ignore all that for a side, just to give an idea. Okay, now let's say if you're going to do in January 2023 your ACCA knowledge papers, which is three papers. There's three papers in knowledge level, BT, MA, as well as FA.
Come back again for the
Now,
next series
once
on Go
you
Discover
finish off your
Class.
studies,
Bye
which we
bye.
normally encourage a 5-month semesters, then you can actually be ready and sit for exam in June. Now, of course, you studied three papers, you sit for three papers exam. That sounds really, really reasonable, logical, okay? But let's say, you are a person that you want to have more confidence in the planning of your exam, or you have that kind of exam phobia that you really don't want to handle that kind of like stress with so many papers at the same time. So can you just imagine if we say that maybe in the month of June you take one exam, then you prepare for the other two papers in the next exam, let's say in the month of September. ACCA actually has 4 exams in a year, so you can have one in June, September, December, and March. Now, it's up to you, like you want to sit for one paper in June, two papers in September, or you vice versa, you can do two papers in June, one paper in September. That's what we mean by flexibility. Now, some of you probably will ask, like, if I'm going to take the exam in separate sessions, then why do I want to study all the three papers at the beginning? Well, that's a very legit point. So in that case, you might want to consider, for example, I'll study one paper in January, then I will sit for one paper in the month of June. Now, you can even do 3-month semesters. Like, for example, you might want to study in January and then you go for exam in March. But we usually don't encourage students to do that because we find that it's very stressing, and we think that the learning experience is not very ideal. We think that we need time to digest what we learn, because at the end of the day, you're not just studying for exam, you're studying to apply what you learn so that when you go to work, it's going to help you, it's going to add values to your life. So you need to give yourself a bit of time to really embed it into your life. Okay, now, so that's an example of pathway. All right, now to share a bit about the shortest duration, ACCA actually have 4 distinct levels. The knowledge, you have 3 papers there. The skills got 6 papers. The strategic professionals got 2. Strategic options, that's where the last 2. Now, we said just now you can use 6 months to finish off your knowledge papers. That's the shortest time you can take. Now, because skills is 6 papers, you will need at least 12 months. That's again the shortest time that you can take. So that takes you about 1.5 years. Now, the flexibility that ACCA offers is like what we said just now. You can start your course and then you take a break. So, like, for example, if you finish up the first 3 papers in knowledge, you want to take a break, you can. And the beauty is ACCA actually has paper qualifications to recognize your progression level. You can get a diploma in accounting and business after the first 3 papers, and then you can go for an advanced diploma when you finish off the next 6 papers. And don't forget that there is an Oxford Brookes degree option for those who have finished off the skills level, where you just need to also complete a research and analysis project for that. Now, strategic professionals will be the next two papers. You will take another 6 months, and options another 6 months. Now that's how the 2.5 years that you're going to spend, the duration to finish off your ACCA. Of course, if you come in with exemption, then you just have to work out how much time you need to do the remaining of the papers, taking into account your exemptions. Now, do take note, you don't have a time limit for knowledge and skills. So you don't really have to worry about stopping. You can stop and you can come back and resume your study anytime you like. They will not forfeit your papers. Whatever that you've passed will remain valid. Now, but when it comes to the strategic professionals, we do have a 7-year limit. So if if you plan to have an intentional break in your study, and if you think that it's going to take a long time, some people thought that, oh, I'm just going to go away overseas for 3 years and I'm not going to do any studies. Well, if that is that case, you should intentionally delay the commencement of your strategic professional so that you will not exhaust the 7 year. Otherwise, that 7 year is actually very adequate for most students to finish off their ACCA. So this is just a bit to answer questions about duration. How long will I take to study ACCA?